These are the several schooling situations I've been in. And I'm going to explain why each of these are in the places they're in. Let's start out with the US. Schooling. It was just about learning the US stuff. And it got very boring after a couple months, so I just started tapping random things till I got it right. And after a week or two I had no idea what I was doing, so I just stopped. Next, the COVID schooling. It's very like the schooling I'm doing now, but without the help I can just walk to. But the core elements are the same. The placement of things look the same. All jumbled up with no meaning. And there's no pre-thing. You know? The entering thing where it's the start. The little talk to the whole class to tell them this is how you do the thing. There's none of that. I only lasted a week. There was no motivation from my aunt. Unlike the US stuff, because I was alone for a year. Next, the stuff I'm doing now. It's basically the same as the last stuff but with perks. I've only seen the can walk to get help. And the mixing things I'm already doing to get credit things. But I haven't seen the whole getting rid of the unneeded things. Like, why do I have to write from the point of view of a guy from the French Revolution? How does this help me with normal things? And why do I have to play connect the dots? This whole thing sounds like if it was 2 in the morning and me just looking up random videos like how to turn a sphere inside out. Or even how the Nazis were trying to create a gay bomb. Look, these up there all real. What is this? This looks like a lot of nothing, like some spaghetti. How am I supposed to do anything in this? Now on to the normal schooling. Even though I was sent down to the office every day I went since grade K. And had an EA next to me at all times, so I couldn't make any friends and couldn't play the same games as all the other students. And like this one time I was sitting with some people like friends at school but nothing else than just school. So I was sitting with them and I got up for some water, and when I came back there was a different guy sitting in my seat. So I went to the principal and said, this guy is sitting in my seat. And the principal said, that's not your seat, and she put me at a different table. So this is Friday. So I come up with a plan to do the same thing but to the guy in my seat on Monday. So I do the thing and he goes to the principal. But, guess what? I was moved to a different table, but I did the same thing he did and didn't get moved. And there was a thing about an air hockey table. How it was set up, there were 2 lines for each side. So if you were waiting and one guy never got out and one line was getting people out all the time, the people in the line with no one getting out would never get to play. And if you say, why don't you just go to the other line? If you go to the other line and the guy that never gets out and the roles switch, how do you think you can solve that? You can solve it with only one line. So that's what I said and kept saying until they put just one line. And they did. They put one line. But I got banned from using the air hockey table. What kind of logic is that? And the reason why I was always in the office was because I didn't understand most of what they were teaching. So I would ask them for help. But I needed to raise my hand to get the attention of the teacher. And when I got their attention they would say, try your best. I'm like, bruh, I have tried my best but it's not finished. So they'd say, you got to finish this. And I'd say, but I don't know how to. And they'd say, try your best. It's just a big loop. And this happens a lot in French. So I would say, I don't know. And they'd say, try your best. And this would keep happening until they say I'm not doing any work and I'd say I don't know how. And I'm guessing they thought this was an excuse because a little bit after that I would be sent to the office for refusing to work. You might be wondering, hey Griffin, that stuff doesn't seem like normal schooling is better than every other option. That stuff seems a bit awful and not worth being in the okay category. Yes, you're right. But there's still one thing I haven't talked about. And that one thing is, they have the bloody pre-thing. That thing, and that I've actually learned stuff from actual school. But back to the pre-thing. The pre-thing isn't exclusive to just school, it's an act of first time teaching of anything. How can you mess up a system meant to teach so badly it doesn't even have the pre-thing? So that's the reason why these things are placed where they are.